Hi guys, today we're going to change the brake on a 2004 Touareg. This is the passenger side. I've already done the driver side. So basically, routine procedure, take the wheel off. You have to take the nut covers off first, and the wheel comes out after you take the 5 bolts off. So I'm going to start again when the wheel is off. Okay, the wheel is off. I took the wheel off the car. Of course, I'm secured through a very heavy duty jack, and put the wheel aside. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my cleaning tool, which is the metal brush with gun. You can use a drill or you can use whatever you have to clean this area that I'm showing you. Well, doesn't really matter, this thing comes off, but underneath this there's another surface that needs to be cleaned. So when we get there, I'll come back to you guys. But right now I'm gonna take the brake off, and that requires me to take this bolt off. As you can see, this bolt, it's a number 13, wrench number 13. You take that off, you pull this pin out, you take the spring out, and both of the brake pads will come out. Then in order to take the cylinder or the whole brake assembly off, there's 2 bolts down here. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's one, there's another one. They're basically 21mm bolts. I had a hard time taking them off with gun, so I ended up using a little bit of pipe extension on my tool, on my ratchet, to loosen them up, and then I took them off with the gun. But basically, I'm going to take the brakes off first, the brake pads, through that 13mm bolt. The rod, the spring, and the brake pad will come out. So once I do that, I'll take another quick video. Okay, very quickly I want to show you that this spring was here, and this rod need to come out to release both of the brake pads, which are right here. As you can see, there is, and this one. We're going to change the rotor as well today, so once I take the brake assembly off, I'll take another video. Alright, quick hint. When you try to take the shaft off, what I do is I put the bolt back on and hammer it in. It is kind of tricky to get it off, but once you get it off to the end, it's pretty easy. But never ever hammer it without these bolts on it, because you can destroy the edge and you would not be able to screw it back on. The other thing I do is I press the cylinders back, so there is no problem later on when I try to reassemble it. That way I can just put the brake pads right back on. But as you can see, I pressed all of the cylinders back on both sides. That's just another hint. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We take the disc off. There's a hex bolt right here, and it is size where the heck did it go? Okay, here we go. It's a hex bolt that holds the disc in, that comes out, and the size of it is T45. As you can see, you can get it from anywhere, so use a T45 hex or star tool to take the bolt off. I already took off the 2 bolts that I discussed earlier for the caliper that holds the caliper in. That's already out, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this surface with another tool that I have, which is basically a metal brush and air drill. So I'm just gonna clean this area so it doesn't stick to the new rotor that I have. I'll be back after that. So I already picked up my rotors, all from AutoZone. It's ready to go. The only thing I did was took it out of plastic, use the brake cleaner to take the grease off of it. It's very important to remove the grease. They put some grease on it so it doesn't rust. I removed it from both sides, as you can see, and we are ready to go. Okay, Now we're ready to put this back on. I cleaned as much as I could to get all of the rust out. Here's my new disc. Here's my old disc. The only thing you notice is there is an edge here and here. The Volkswagen recommends to replace the rotors with the brake pads, but I was able to get at least 2 sets on it before I had to replace it. But it is getting thin. I'm using semi-metallic and full metallic brake pads, so it's burning them down faster. But we are ready to go. The only thing is you need 2 set of hands on this to get it done. Somebody need to hold the caliper up while you're putting the disc on. So we're going to have extra set of hand helping us with that. Alright, so we got the disc on, put the caliper on, it's ready to go. I'm just going to tighten this star bolt, and we're going to put the brake pads on next. By the way, clean these bolts for the caliper because they're rusty and they're going to be even harder to take it off next time. So I'll clean those before I tighten it. Okay, we're getting very close to the end. Basically, these are the pads that I picked from AutoZone. These are all full ceramic. I like the Duralast brand. It comes also with new bolts, so you don't have to use your old bolt. But it's pretty simple process. As you can see, you just insert the pads in there. Again, you know, I did a shortcut and pushed the pistons back before I took the stuff apart. I still have to do a little bit of adjustment, but they're in. The next step is you put this spring into place and you push this rod across and tighten the bolt on the other side. So this is it pretty much. I'm gonna do this and then come back to you guys. Okay guys, final stage. We were able to get the rotor on. The rotor is on, the star screws on, the brake pads are on, this rod is in. There's a 13mm bolt here that comes with my set that was brand new, so I put that on and tighten it. And these two on the back, I tightened them with my impact wrench, and that was good enough. But you can look for torque measurement and see if you want to torque it. But I'm ready to go. Basically, the brake is on. The next step is to get the wheel on and do a road test. And I'll get back to you in a little bit.